Page 70, English folk song. At the top of the page, they're giving you some ideas, things you need to understand about music theory. And they're using the C chord as an example here. See, I've already said that when you do these chords, it's every other note. I mean, there's a note in between. And when you're in this position, the bottom note identifies what the chord is. So that would be a C chord. A D, E, F, G. Get the idea? I'm simplifying this. There's more to it, but just stick with me here. Well, they're coming up with this third and fifth, root third and fifth thing. The root is the bottom. That's the main. That's it. The root. In a C, we're in the key of C here. You didn't know that, but you do now. We're in the key of C here. We're using all the white notes. C, the note C is the root of the key. It's the root. And in a chord, when you're in this position, the bottom note is the root of the chord. The root is the bottom note. Now, if I turn this over and I do here, this is not the root because it's on the bottom, because I'm no longer in every other note, because there's two notes here. I've rearranged it. You got to be in this position in order that the bottom note is going to be the root. The root is the C in a C chord. It doesn't matter what the arrangement is. If this arrangement here, the C is still the root of the chord. That gets a little confusing. But just keep in mind the root is, and then they have the third and the fifth. Well, we've had intervals, right? You just count up. Now, if I go from here, 1, 2, 3, it's an interval of a third. So this note is the third of the chord. The third. Call it the third. And then if I go up to the other one, 3, 4, 5, this is the fifth of the chord. Fifth of the bottom. So we have a third and a fifth. And we use both of them together, we get the full chord. The idea behind this, if you can grasp it, is that it works with any key signature. It doesn't matter. So when we start getting into all the sharps and flats and all that other stuff that's going to follow, you're just going to love it. I know we are. But you'll understand these chords. It's the root, the third, and the fifth. So if I take a G major, you haven't had G major, but take my word for it, it's here. It just has an F sharp. So if I want a G chord, then I take the root, the third, and the fifth, and that's a G chord. F chord. Those are really the only chords we can have. And of the chords I'm talking about, this is all we can do with just the white keys. When we get to the others, we really need to be using black keys too. I don't want to do that yet. Keep in mind too, in a scale, let's go back to the white keys. All the notes in a scale are numbered. It starts with the bottom note or the root, and that's 1. Remember, we don't start with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 steps in any scale. And they're numbered. So I could say, what is step 6 of the C scale? Or the C key, in the key of C, what is step 6? Or something like that. And you just simply, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an A. A is, eventually you just learn these, you just know it. Well, this third and fifth is also of the scale. It's the third of the third step of the scale is an E, and the fifth step of the scale is a C. Well, it happens to be the intervals too. It just works out that it's both. It's the step of the scale and it's the interval. So there are different ways of looking at this. The idea, if you can grasp this though, is as I said before, it works with any key signature. So you don't have to learn different rules for different key signatures. Just grasp it here and you've got it. We'll talk about it more. We really will, because there's stuff you need to understand here. So when you see the C chord, know that while you're playing these notes, you're also playing the third and the fifth here. Now, for English folk song, let's talk about that. 3/4 time. Let's get the notes first. This does not have a pickup measure, so we're coming in on beat 1. And in the right hand, do this one hand at a time here. In your right hand, you're starting out with third finger on E, it puts you here, and you just get the notes first. You have an E and a G and a C and an E. Well, those notes, that's the C chord. We just did a C chord. We did what's called a broken chord. You see, you have block chords where you play all the notes at one time. Doesn't matter what the chord is. If they're at the same time, it's a block chord. Well, any other arrangement is a broken chord. And it could be, there's all kinds of arrangements of broken chords. The pattern isn't important. It's just the fact that it's not a block. Well, if we look at these first notes, that's like a broken chord. It's a C chord, but we're doing the notes here one at a time. Doesn't have to be one at a time, but that's how. So we're doing a C chord. Isn't that cool? And then at the end of the line there, it's a broken C chord, and that's all the right hand's doing in this piece. The left hand has a block C chord, and all three of those notes are tied. You see the three lines there? So you hold it down for 6 counts, and then you have 3 G's, and then here, that's what the left hand's doing. Put the hands together, you have here rhythm 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get the idea, I hope. And once you can do that, you don't have to go that fast. You take it at your speed, then you do the articulation. Well, we have slur here in the right hand. We're going to connect this. 2, 1, 2. Lift up before you play the first G. Lift up here, so there's a little silence. And then now we have staccato. Nice light wrist staccato. I'm on the key and I bounce off a boom, boom, boom. And then slur. Lift up. Because at the end of the line the slur ends, so I'm going to lift up. Like so. So you do the articulation, and then you can add the dynamics. Moderately loud at the beginning, that's the right hand. Keep these chords, you're playing the block chords, keep those soft. Anything else you do in the left hand you can bring out because it's melody, but these chords are soft here. Now that's just in this piece. That doesn't work like that in every piece, just in this piece. So the right hand is moderately loud, and this is moderately loud. But when I play these chords, I'm going to play them soft, and the right hand is still moderately loud. Then in the second line, when I get to the last 2 measures, now it's loud. I go up a little bit. The last line, now it's soft. It's an echo. I'm echoing softly. Now back up to moderately loud in the right hand, and you finish it moderately loud. That's the dynamics. Then the speed, well, cheerfully is, I don't know, if you're happy, how fast would you play it? Yes, about that. I don't know. It's a personal thing. How fast do you feel it should go? So you go ahead and learn it. Get rid of any hesitations you've got. You should be able to play this piece without looking at the keyboard at all. So you know which notes your fingers are on and all. When you're ready, come back and play it with me slowly, and let's double check that you have the correct notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 3 counts, and let's do it together slowly. 1, ready, go.